ACL. I'm doing the ACL tear from my leg. And the ACL means anterior cruciate ligament. It's a ligament in your knee. This is my prop thingy. So if this was like a real knee, it would be right here. This is the patella right here, but the ACL would be right here. The ACL ligament is in the knee, and that's mostly responsible for preventing excessive rotation in the forward translation of the lower leg on the upper leg. So an ACL tear has like 3 levels. Grade 1 means that the ligament was stretched, but it's not torn. So there's no instability, minimal pain and swelling. Recovery should be like a week or 2. Grade 2, there's a few fibers that's been torn. You might get a little bit of pain and swelling. There might be a little bit of instability in your knee, and this might take 2 months to fully recover. Now, grade 3 is like the fully torn ligament, and there's like a lot of swelling. The knee is very unstable, and recovery is like 6 to 12 months. And there's a 60% chance that you will injure your meniscus cartilage while you if you tear your ACL. So if this were a real knee, the ACL would be right here, like connecting these. And if this was a real knee, then the meniscus would probably be like right here, outlining the bottom knee, like right here. I'm gonna talk about the different ways how to injure the ACL. So and you don't have to be a professional because most people think you have to be a professional to tear your ACL, and that's not the case. High school students do it. Anybody could do it. The most common one is a non-contact one. And we see this when the athlete is cutting, pivoting, sidestepping, or landing weird from a jump. In many cases, you will see that the foot will be firmly planted with the leg away from the body. Then they move their weight and twist at the hips, causing the torque on the knee. So basically, like in soccer, if you have your knee planted and your hips like trying to move, then this is gonna bend weird. This is gonna like try to go this way, and like this part is gonna tear because it's keeping these two in place. So if you try to move this way, but this is already planted, it's gonna tear. And contact one is like the more gruesome ones you usually see on TV. And it's like when a player, like when you're playing sports or when you're outside and something, it's like a direct impact into your knee. So say like you're running or something, and somebody just goes in your knee or goes from the side. It's like a direct impact. Like it's on contact. And a torn ACL, it's literally how people usually see it. It's like a bend in an unusual place. Yeah, like if it bends like this way, it's basically a bend where it's not supposed to bend, and it tears the connector. And ACL affects the skeletal system because it bruises the bone. This occurs when the subluxation that happens with the ACL tear, usually with the pop. Like most athletes, like when they tear the ACL, they describe it as a pop. So usually that pop means you have a bruise in your skeletal system on your knee, which is bone. Usually the bruise is between the trochlea and the lateral femoral condyle. So after all this, I'll probably show a video of somebody explaining it better on the better one. So basically, so when this moves out of place, and the upper bone and the these two bones, like, they scrape on each other, and then that causes that these two, like, this scrapes on this, so it causes like a bruise, and that affects the skeletal system. So basically the knee pivots this bone, and it will damage.
When you tear your ACL, there's also about an 80% chance you'll injure the bone in the joint surface, because as the knee pivots, this bone will bang into this bone, pinching the cartilage, and so that.
One example of an ACL that a celebrity got is Tom Brady. He threw the ball, and then somebody got his leg, and his knee. He was already playing on this foot, so his knee, like, somebody tried to tackle him, so it just tore, and like it went like this way. Another one, probably the most popular one, is Derrick Rose. I think he tried to he was going in the lane, and like I guess he like jumped, and he was like cutting, and he started like cutting and stuff, like doing quick pivots and cuts to get to the basket, and then he tore his ACL. Another one that recently happened in 2019 was Klay Thompson. It was in the 2019 finals, I think. Basically he went up for a dunk, and like I guess like he landed weird, and his knee was the opposite way where it's supposed to be, which is a torn ACL. So basically, an ACL is reconstruction. The surgery isn't always needed. So old people who only just walk to the store, that's their only like physical stuff, is walk to the store and back or something, and they don't really need to run. They're not gonna need reconstruction because it wouldn't make sense, because they don't really need to run anywhere. But people like Tom Brady, Klay Thompson, and Derrick Rose, they play sports at a high level, so they need to get back at their original shape. So they gotta do their surgery on their knee, the reconstruction. And the reconstruction is basically they put a camera into your knee, and then they remove like the damage, like the useless ACL that tore, and then they drill a hole or a tunnel. They drill a tunnel to the knee from your fibula and your femur, and then they get like other tendons from like your hamstring in other parts of your body to like replace the one from your ACL. Oh yeah, and you'll get out. Okay. But the surgery is usually like, it's probably like 20 to 50,000, and usually the procedure would take like what? It would take like an hour or two, and then after, you would need to go into like a recovery room and like recover for like an hour or another hour or two, and then you could go home, and then you should, and physical therapy should be started like 5 days, 3 to 5 days later. After surgery, after surgery, and after, it's like, it probably, a fully torn is gonna take probably a year. That's what, to get back to your current, like your, what you was. But some exercises you could do, they're like, when you just begin, there's like double leg box jump, single leg box jump, double leg side to side hop. That's what they would be like, oh, that's beginner. And there's some called plyometrics. Plyometrics are powerful exercises to increase your speed, endurance, and strength. You really want to like jump high. You really want to try hard and like sweat and jump to your max, what you could do, because that's going to help your muscles strengthen like what they used to be. If you just half-ass the whole thing, it's not going to be good. You're not going to get fully to where you was. This challenges like your nervous system to work with your muscles, to like strengthen your muscles, because when it tore, obviously the muscles need to be repaired and need to be strengthened up again. Nervous system. Anyway, so examples of these like hard exercises would be alternating toe taps, tuck jumps, and broad jumps. That's for beginners. And then this intermediate one, there's jumping lunges, repeated tuck jumps, and lateral broad jumps. Advanced, I'd be on advanced, because the people I saw doing this, they were some scrubs. Single leg jump hops, hop forward bound. I think that's just like jumping, just a bunch of different jumps. Single leg zigzag bound. I guess they zigzag and they like jump, they go zigzag. And other exercises that can help would be squats, heel raises, single leg raise. And when I was doing my research for this company that was doing it, they were talking about push-ups. They were talking about, push-ups help, planks help. I was like, how? Doesn't make sense. Mr. O'Brien, you could explain to them how that works, because it doesn't make sense. It's a push-up. It might help your knees. I don't know. But a side plank is blasphemous. I don't think that helps, but that's what it said, so I'm just going to say it.